Welcome back to Omnifactory. Today it's time to get into medium voltage, and that should be fairly straightforward for us to start. A couple of things that I crafted between the episodes. First of all, fluxomagnet from Thermal Innovation. That is pretty simple to actually make. There are multiple tiers of it, and just the usual kind of item magnet. So just craft your way up from lead and iron, add a little bit of invar and copper, and you get into electrum and invar. Beyond that point, though, it starts getting into signalum and other such things. And this is fine for now. Now, to get into medium voltage, was there anything else I crafted between the episodes? Yes, there was. Let me just go and show you. To get into medium voltage, you need to craft the medium voltage CEF. I did go ahead and craft that. I showed you it last episode. So here it is. And in there is one medium lithium battery. Because this is being... well, I don't quite know whether we're going to need a higher tier of RF than we currently have, but it is being supplied by the same conductive iron, i.e. the basic version of RF cable. We can go up to the next version if we like. I've got more than enough of it to do that, but you know, I'm not going to worry about it. And then we've got this energetic alloy cable here, same stuff that we made last episode. I've got more of it if we need to. It is 4 times, and I made a 4 times CEF rather than a 16 times. Thought we'd give it a go first. And then we need to get a little bit further on. Now, if we go and make another one of those batteries, we can just fill that up. But I'm not going to fill it up with all 4 immediately. Batteries, here they are. So you need the battery alloy plate that we made last episode. And if we just put that in, you'll see we get medium battery hull. But that's not a battery. It just needs to be filled with something, basically. So you need a canning machine to combine that with lithium dust. If you want lithium batteries, I do. And we'll just pop that in and some lithium, and that should turn into another lithium battery. With those things crafted, we are then able to go and make another thing. We're going to make this recipe, some silver wire, some MV machine holes, some processors, and a copper cable, and we get the advanced electrolyzer. There we go, and that should give us some more quest points. Let's just get some of those. So let's pop upstairs, put this in place, and this should enable a few more things. Hopefully there's no explosions. Ooh. Yep, that appears to be fine. So the electrolyzer lets us get a bunch of stuff ready. One of the things is something I couldn't do previously, which was to make black quartz, or crushed black quartz. We need to make that to make the atomic reconstructor. Here's the rest of the recipe. I've already made it with the emitters. They are, again, whoops, took that out of my inventory. Let me just get that sorted. You go back there. Yeah, for some reason R is grab some of that out of there. Anyway, the emitters are quite easy to make. I think I've done them before. A couple of processors each. So that's 4 processors, which is, well, like 16 circuits. So it's a good thing we got a circuit manufacturer downstairs. And that is pretty good. This Ender Eye lens is just, it's an eye vendor and some other bits and pieces. Ender Eye lens. Ender Eye lens is, yeah, it's just an eye vendor and some water in the autoclave. So that is straightforward. What's missing here from the middle to make the atomic reconstructor, recon, there it is this aluminium casing. And thankfully that's the next quest in the chain, I think. So we'll have a look at that. Black quartz is also made in the autoclave, but it needs crushed black quartz, which needs quartzite dust in the electrolyzer. But it needs 90 EU per tick. That's far higher than LV can actually supply. So we're going to need to get some quartzite dust. And I think I've got some made up, hopefully. Quartzite dust, yeah, let's just get, let's take all of that. There we go. And was that, let's just go through the process in the electrolyzer. So it's going to need to be the advanced electrolyzer. But that should convert over. Let's go and pop upstairs and get that made. You'll see I've sealed in the what was the door there. We're probably going to end up with a row of machines here, so I thought I may as well. I've already got 2 other sets of doors already, so it's more. There we go. So that's started up, and that process is going well. Let's also grab another lithium battery in there now, and that's being supplied by the same sugarcane everything else is. So good so far. And let's take a look at the quests. So we've got the advanced electrolyzer down here. And you'll see now we've got aluminium casing opened up, and it takes us down towards the atomic reconstructor. So, good thing is, the things I want to craft are the things that are already going to be part of the quest. So, that's good. Well, part of the quest book. Then we just need some aluminium. So, let's just pop that in here. In fact, we can probably just shift click this in and order those. Well, we actually need to convert it across into actual black quartz in the autoclave. So, let's just grab that and pop it in there. I don't think there's enough water. We need another infinite water source, clearly. Infinite water source. I wish it ain't synchronized with JEI like AE2 does, but we can't always have everything that we want. Let's just see. Missing 2 water buckets. I've got those. That's fine. And that's requested. The plates, they should be along in shortly. Hopefully. I have requested them. Are you going to give me the plates? Or is it going to be manufacturing the plates? It's manufacturing the plates. Okay, never mind. It's going to make them one at a time. Let's skip forwards. And there we go. I've just put enough water onto the front of this for it to actually start processing. It's not going to take it very long, and we can just get rid of this now. It's no longer needed. We could put it behind and have it being permanent, but I just don't want it ever to mix with this pressurized fluid conduit. So I don't want to take any chances there. And there's our black quartz. So we should be able to go over and push this in here. And then request this. Yep, requesting 8 aluminium plates. And there we go. We got 1 casing. Now I need to take that out into my inventory to pick up the quest. And in fact, we have everything else we need for the atomic reconstructor. So we can put that down there. Where did I put it? There it goes. Okay, 1 atomic reconstructor. Please give me a quest. There we go. And let's take those rewards. 5 omni pennies. It'd be nice if it actually just gave us nickels now, rather than, you know, just give me 1 nickel or 2 nickel or something. Anyway, so it says drill baby drill. Unfortunately, I can't make that until I get a drill core, so I can't do that quest. That's annoying, but there's nothing I can actually do about it. And there was various different things that we can actually create with the atomic reconstructor. And the atomic reconstructor is relatively simple. Let me just grab a button. I think I've got probably a couple of buttons from that front door that I deconstructed. Yep. Let's grab one of those. And then we just need to connect it to an RF source. So we could probably do it in here. Really? Oh, the button took a little while to get going. And do we do it in here? Yeah. In the corner here is probably quite useful. Although we do need to connect it from or to that cabling. So we need to just put some cabling here. And then we can put our atomic reconstructor. There we go. And for this, we also are going to need, unfortunately, a button on the side. Wow, yeah, forgot about that. We need a redstone torch. Oh, otherwise, that's going to keep converting. Redstone torch. That really scared me. I was not expecting it to do that by default. Let's just go for a stick. And it does it, I wouldn't mind, but it does it every time I actually make one in a mod pack. You'd think I remember it by now. Let's get a stick. Give me a stick. I need to stop this from causing a problem. There we go. Okay, redstone torch. And it's glowing red. Good. And right click. We want it in pulse mode. That's good. And then we can just put a button on the side right there. And then we can just do this whenever we want it to do anything. Good. So that's all well and good. And I'm just going to put a block down there if I can get one to... Oh no, yeah, I can't put it down there because there's a power cable right where I need it to be. So I'm just wondering if I just reroute this a little bit. Let's just get it that way. And can we get a power cable on the other side of that rather than go anywhere else? Seems like a nicer thing to do. There it goes. And is there any way I can remove any of that? No, not at the moment. Oh, I suppose I can move that block. No, I can't. No, can't move any of that. Fine, that's okay. We'll just put another block down here. And I would always like to be able to basically not have a button like that in the floor, but it's just too convenient to do anything else, to be honest. So I'll leave it alone for the moment. Right. So now I should be able to use that atomic reconstructor to convert things over into leather and get the leather that I've been missing because I can't find any cows anywhere. Of course, I could also trade for like a spawn egg for cows and breed them. But yeah, so zombie flesh. Yeah, there we go. So let's just get some rotten flesh. A couple of, well, not a couple of stacks, but a couple of tens of rotten flesh will do the job. There we go. And I think that's all we actually need to do. Let's just pop that over there and convert. Yep, and it's leather. Good. Easier way to produce leather. And we'll come back to the recipes next. So that's got a bunch of different stuff done. Now it's going to tell us to head across, and this is where we get to inscription plates. We clearly need to go through other stuff that comes through the atomic reconstructor. There isn't much else linked to this, so we're actually going to need to go through these next. So void crystal and nori crystal block. Void crystal is going to be straightforward, I would have thought. Yeah, it's just coal, and then a nori crystal. That's pretty much just going to be quartz, is it? Nori crystal block of iron. Okay, just iron. That again should be simple. We're just going to go for a full block. And then we're also going to go for one piece of coal. Okay, let's convert this across to full block, and we're ready to go. Let's just pop that over there now. So go crystal, well, nori crystal first. There we go. And now the void. There we go. Okay. Reconstruction of, excuse me, need to clear my throat. Reconstruction of atoms quest done, and then it's going to ask us to make the inscription, basically inscriber press plates, the blank plates. So inscriber, and there we are. So inscriber calculation press is fine, but they need a blue lens in an engraver with a block of aluminium. I think we can actually make all of those. That's not a problem. Is it going to require all of them? Yes, it is, which is about right. Okay, so we're going to need, I hope for that blue, it's not consumed. Good. And I think I already made it. So that needs to be a precision laser engraver. And the minimum tier for that is medium voltage. There is no basic version of a laser engraver, which means now I need to make all this stuff. However, you can see a lot of it is stuff we've already made. I've got 2 electronic processors. I need a third one. That's so annoying. And I think I already had most of it in here. So 1, 2, and transistor, and then circuits. And then I think it just needs some basic soldering alloy or something along those sort of lines. So I'll go and make that, and we'll come back in a second. Now, one of the first sub-ingredients is the stuff we've already made before, the emitter, and that's actually quite a simple one, so we can just go ahead and do that. However, the others have a bit of a complication. The electric pistons need electric motors, which needs this, a magnetic steel rod. Now, we can't just directly make that from steel, really. We have to make magnetic steel ingots, or we have to go through magnetic steel rod. No, it's just circular. So we have to get magnetic steel going. And that's a few things to actually do. First of all, to do that, we have to go through one of these polarizers. It's one of the quests. Back up here is a LV polarizer. There it is. Basic polarizer. So you need that in order to make the next tier up. Now, normally I would just go ahead and do that, but we can just as easily, I think, just make a medium voltage version, which hopefully is faster and more capable. So let's just request another one of those. We need a couple of copper cables. I've just taken them all in my inventory. That's why I can't make them. Let's just do that for a second. And medium voltage. There we go. Let's just request a hull. So it can make another one of those. And to make the rest of it, we need a few ingredients. But let's just look for the polarizer. So I'm going to ignore the quest specifically for this one, just so I can make it in medium voltage. And that just needs a couple of steel rods, needs some copper wire and copper cable. So the copper wire is also straightforward. We just need 4 of you. Good. We've got the copper cable already. The medium voltage should be done. So that is just the steel rods remaining, which needs some steel. So we need to get the system to make that for us. And, oh, in fact, we've already got 12 of it. So that's more than good enough. All right, so now I could just make a steel rod. I would imagine if we just place this, where are you? There we go. 2 steel rods. And now can we make the advanced polarizer? We can. Okay, sadly that doesn't count for the quest. But it should get us what we actually need to do, which is just to grab some more, there we go, just grab some more steel and magnetize it. We're going to need 2 of it, so that's good that we have some excess. There we go. That's going to come out, and then we can polarize it. Basically put it in an electromagnetic field, and there it goes. Really quickly, in fact. Okay, so we're also going to need some aluminium bits and pieces, but that's the main component we need to craft independently. But 2 of that over into small gears, which you think we can do with a hammer. Yep, 2 small aluminium gears. We can then grab all of these and craft 2 electric motors. That's that done, and then let's just combine the 2. We can get all of those. And where are you? So advanced, we need 2 more copper cables, and that's it. So there we go. So 2 electric pistons. Combine that with everything else, and we get the advanced precision laser engraver. Okay, that can go upstairs with everything else. So off you go right there, and we should probably think about putting down some more cable. I think I have some in my inventory. Yes, I do. Energetic alloy cable, so lossless basically. And we can make a whole rack of this stuff. So we need a blue lens now, if you remember, and we also need some aluminium, I think it was. Let's just see if I've got a blue lens in here. I'm almost sure I did craft one. There it is. And I crafted this ages ago, so don't bear with me if I need to. But let's just see what it actually takes to craft that, just in case you haven't crafted it yet. It's just some topaz or opal, lapis or sapphire. So you'll just find that by mining, etc. Or you can buy lapis ore accordingly. And the uses for that are only really very few. And the one we want is just a calculation press. So that needs a block of aluminium. And let's just look at the other inscription stuff, because we're probably going to need that. Maybe they're just going to be different lenses, maybe. So let's have a look. Calculation is blue. Yep, red lens, green lens, and diamond lens. Suspicious. Diamond lens is just a diamond. Okay. Red and blue is garnet or ruby. That's going to be emerald or sapphire. Yeah. So it's all the same recipe. So we need to put this infinite water source back in front of our autoclave, and let's just pop in a few different things. So diamond, I think I have. Let's request one of those. Do we have a garnet? We have garnet. Well, let's just get a red garnet, because that's looking for red, and then an emerald maybe, or what other options do we have? Let's take a look. So blue lens, let's go through it by that way. Blue lens is topaz. Green lens, was it just called? Maybe, hopefully. Yes, sapphire. That was the word I was looking for. We've got a regular sapphire. I don't seem to have green. Do we have any ores? We do. We have green sapphire ore. So what's the uses for that? Is just smelting it? Yeah, let's just smelt it. Okay. Pop you in there. And we've got green sapphire. And then we'll just go and put this in here and convert each of them over into their respective lens. Grab some aluminium and get the blocks ready. So let's just grab some aluminium. And it's going to be 9 for each one of them, and there's 4 of them, so 36 of this will do. We'll request that. I do need to make more aluminium. I'm going to probably get it out of my entire stock, but let's convert that all over into blocks of aluminium. And are you ready from here? There's the diamond lens. We want the green one. I just needed a little bit more water, and everything else was fine. So that is enough for us to go and get going. All right, up we go across, and then we can convert this across to green. And that's not consumed. I just want to make sure I monitor each of these. And that's taking a while. That really is taking a while. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that on camera. I assume I'm going to do all this off camera and convert them all over. And there, all 4 of our inscriber presses are done. Hopefully that was going to give me the quest. Really hope so. I was looking at the farmer as well. That's another thing that's unlocked. Oh, we get 5 omni nickel with that. That's good. That's like that's like 2.5 stacks of something. Oh no, in fact, no, that's not 2.5 stacks. It's 2 nickel per. Yeah, it's 2 nickel per half stack. So it's a stack and a half. That'll do. And then we're into inscribers, so we can get this to get the processors going for AE2. Processor recipes have changed to require basic GT circuits instead of redstone. And that's why we had to have that whole thing whereby we're making lots and lots of circuits downstairs. So let's take a look at the inscriber. Do we have the advanced inscriber? We do. Good. That is going to need the regular inscriber. And that's going to need more pistons. And MV machine hulls. So we're going to need at least 4 of these to get started, and maybe more later. This does need dark steel plates, and handily, we now have a shortcut. So let's just pop some of this stuff in just a random chest. I haven't really set these up with advanced sorting or anything like that, so I'm just going to dump them in the chest for now, and pop you in there as well as some of the bits and pieces. Yeah, just clear a little bit of space. That should do. Okay. Now, where was I? I've popped down all the way down here. There is a shortcut to get into dark steel. But if you remember before, dark steel was actually fairly annoying to make because it needed obsidian and dark steel ingot. So in the alloy smelter, it needs obsidian. However, you can now use void crystal. So if you have coal, you can just convert it to void crystal and immediately use that to make dark steel, which is really, really, really handy. However, coal, I guess I have to go and mine it, right? Well, no. What you can do is create a creeper data model like this. And once you get creeper matter, whatever it's called, it pops out of here, the pristine creeper matter. Put it in your loot simulator and you can choose coal, and it will make coal for you quite happily. So you don't need to go and mine it anymore. Although in my case, maybe I want to do that for a little bit more. I still don't have a huge amount. That said, wow, did I only deliver 1? Oh, okay, the rest is arriving. There it is. Okay, so we're going to convert over some of that. Let's just convert over about 8 for now. There we go. So 8 in ore crystal, and then the rest just needs to be regular steel, and then you can get to that. So regular steel, and let's just take all 8. There we go. And that goes into an alloy smelter with that. So that's soldering alloy. And I'm going to need the soldering alloy back here. Let's pop you in there, and that could start converting over. So we're going to need electronic circuits anyway, so I'm just going to pause this process, and then we can always shift it back to using the original. We need more resistors and other bits and pieces, but yeah, the idea, that's all stuff you've seen before. Right, so where are we now? Just waiting for this to come in, and then we'll be on to making an inscriber, or at least once I make even more of those pistons, which needs more, but well, yeah, I could do with crafting more of those, to be honest. We're going to need more aluminium. We're almost certainly going to need it fairly soon. So I'm going to need 2 pistons and a flux crystal, dark steel. That's all going to be straightforward to make 1 inscriber. The inscriber, in turn, we can make to an advanced inscriber once we have engineering processes, and these are going to require the circuits. So for that, we need diamond plates as well. Ugh, we're going to need the ability to get diamonds, lots of diamonds, and we can get that from, I guess, loot fabricators. Pristine shulker matter, shulker data model, and I need to craft more stuff. What I think we're going to need is, before long, lots of simulation chambers. Each of these can hold 2 million RF, and it's, well, first of all, slightly hassly when we have to keep changing the data model out, but also it takes time to actually build up this kind of stuff. So we're going to need basically a large supply of polymer clay. Polymer clay is made from clay, which we can get sort of from this stuff the building's made out of. So again, we can break that down. That's not very renewable though. It'd be nice if we can get something renewable, and it looks like we can if we can get a cobble gen. Now I have lots of cobble already, But what we're going to be able to do is basically break do the whole kind of mall thing for cobble. So cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to dust. And that's going to need lots of Gregtech machines. But I'll probably set it up between the episodes or something like that. And once we're into dust, then we'll be able to basically get this. And we can produce clay with that. So we just need to chemical react dust blocks with water to get clay. We've already got an infinite water source, so that's not going to be a problem. The previous thing, however, is pulsating dust. To get that, however, do we have any way of getting that renewably? This doesn't look good. Nether quartz and resonant ender, I would say that's not renewable. Ender pearls not being the most renewable thing in the world, although you can get to them by pristine enderman matter. Okay, the other option is uraninite dust, and that is not renewable either. It's stuff that we have to mine. So if you guys know of any way to get this renewable, I would, when I say renewable, I mean infinite, so we don't have to keep on mining to get this stuff out, then I'm more than happy to hear it. So yeah, I think next episode I'm going to set up lots of these simulation chambers. We're going to need 2 million RF to each, well, that's the buffer for each one. So it's a good thing that we have down here this nice little setup. This can easily be expanded to a third, well, the standard, no, yeah, I've got a magnet on, so it's sort of, it's pulling everything away from that vacuum chest. I can't stand too close. If you just want to turn the magnet off, it's like V. So I go to it, press V, and it's off. Okay, so you can get near it. Anyway, in here you can see that stuff, they're still being absorbed, because I think this is full, you know. Yeah, so I almost want to switch to actually turn this off whenever this is full, or I'm going to keep having to add more storage space. So I'm not quite sure yet. But as I said before, we can expand this quite easily. Just add another 2 there, another 2 there, and then we can get a couple down here quite easily and get all the power output that we actually really need out of this. Depends what point we'll actually use more sugarcane than we're generating. So that's it for this episode. We've got the atomic reconstructor, we've got medium voltage up and running, and I think over time we're going to want to convert all these machines pretty much over to the medium voltage version. So we don't necessarily need them all just yet, but as you can see, we already got an electrolyzer upstairs that is better. And oh, by the way, one shortcut recipe, you can process glass to make nether quartz. So you can put that in an electrolyzer. So we no longer need this one, or at least we shouldn't do. And we don't have any other equivalents upstairs, I don't think, because it's a laser engraver and a polarizer, so we don't have any of that down here. So I'll just put this machine away. It'd be nice if you could just upgrade them. Can we upgrade them? I don't think we can. No, it's a shame. Anyway, we're going to get this and hopefully get rid of all these machines eventually. All right, so we'll see you next episode, I think. I've also expanded outside. We're going to add more and more area as I can get more dirt available, because we're going to be moving on to this other quest down here pretty soon now, the farmer block. And that's going to need some of the things we've already just been crafting. So the farmer needs the aluminium casing, which we could only just now create, so we couldn't make that before. Void crystal blocks, that's easy. That's just a block of coal. I think you can just put a block of coal through. Yeah, a block of coal. And instead of doing them individually, 4 of those. Dark bimetal gears, which is just dark steel, which we've seen the shortcut for, and infinity bimetal gears, which we've already seen before. So there's nothing in there that we can't already do. This happens to be pretty good. The quest explains it a little bit well, better than I can. It basically can go and gather potatoes, canola, carrots, and beetroot. We're going to be using it for canola. Canola is going to be quite important in the pack, so we may as well get that going. And of course, I can get a few stacks of it just occasionally when I walk past, but really, we want that to be automated. So we want really some farms out here and get this kind of area working for us. I was tempted to deconstruct these and have them in sort of just on this end. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those yet. If anyone's ahead of me, let me know if there's any more large multi-block structures. So, because I could just think about building another building or an outdoor area that's flagged or something to use these machines. So I'm not sure how many more of them there are. If you know, put it in the comments below. Otherwise, as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to click on the bell for notifications. Otherwise, we'll see you next time for some more Omnifactory. And as always, thanks for watching.